having vision, not just what you see in front of you, but what you see beyond your years, you know? And I realized you become what you think about. If you keep thinking about your vision, if you keep thinking about your life, you will become that. And that's what you've been doing. That's what I've been doing. It's like, but you have to have laser focus on that one thing that you want. Having a commitment to your vision, having a commitment to your dream life. You see what I'm saying? When you have a commitment, the doubts and everybody's words and all those other things are gonna come into your life. But when you make a commitment to your vision, you're living your destiny. You're living what you were always supposed to be doing your whole life. I told them there's a reason why it sets everybody's soul on fire when they decide to live their dream life. You're doing what God told you to do from the beginning. The reason why you were born. You know what I mean? Whatever that vision is. For you, it's helping people in veterinary medicine. For me, it's to be a farmer. You see what I'm saying? All of us have those things that you feel like you're supposed to do. But when you do the things that you're supposed to do, your life you just start smiling more often. Every day becomes your best day. The mental space.
Okay.
The
Okay.
mental space of
It,
growth. So I want us to read it.
and it does
Again,
fit.
I'll
It fits too. It fits.
it fits very well. I was realizing that this morning. It fits very well. But no, before we start. So how was your week? How
Man,
was your week?
it was amazing, man, for so many different reasons. Last Thursday was like one of the best days ever, man. So Renee just called me randomly in the morning, like before it was last Friday. So Renee called me randomly, and then you and I hit our thing, and then I had to talk to Barry like right after we got off the recording, and that's my first time talking to him since COVID happened, basically. And so he was in good spirits, and it was just awesome, man. We got approved for race, so we have our first continuing education approved for our online seminar through Get Motivated University that people can do self-paced, and they have to take like a quiz. We have quiz questions and stuff like that. And so we're really excited. I think that's going to be the one, man, to really
to like get people.
yeah, to make people really interested in what we have to offer, and then get them. And it's through Get Motivated University, that course. And so now they actually get CE credits for it, and they have the well-being benefits of all that stuff too. So we're just excited about pushing that. Renee and I have been doing meetings consistently over the past few days. So we're looking forward to just kind of getting things back together. Yeah, man. So I was just like really huge news for me to actually get that approval letter. I got it. I think the approval letter came in like maybe Monday or so, and it just really
That's exciting.
It is, man. It made my day.
That's really exciting. So do me one favor. I'm looking at it now, and you know me, the director at the same time. So lower your screen. So there's a lot of above,
Oh,
but not
top
really. Like
space.
you're in
Yeah,
the middle, but
that's a little
they don't
better.
mind seeing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Don't
yeah.
worry,
So
you can show them your
now
chest.
our heads are a little bit more even. And if I raise my chair,
Yeah, yeah,
raise the chair, now we the
yeah.
same height.
We're getting better. Yes, look
We
at
the same
that.
height.
Look at that.
That's good. That's it. 'Cause I was like way down there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
Yeah, I was like, who are you hiding from today, Dr. Holly? Who
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
hiding from today?
So nobody, bro,
But
nobody.
first of all, congratulations on getting the approval on everything. I think that's incredible. Um, I've been having a very interesting week myself.
Tell me about it.
This was yesterday hit hard. Yesterday something happened, and it definitely ties into the lesson of today, mental preparation. Um, Yesterday hit deep because I found out that my tennis coach passed away yesterday morning from coronavirus. And this has
Wow.
been the first one to really like hit. This has been the first one you
Yeah.
had to shed a tear about because this was my first Mr. Dudley. This was my first mentor in
Mm.
America. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Wow.
When I moved from Jamaica and I moved to America, I had no friends. Now you know me, friendly person. I have a lot of friends, right? But I had to start all over again. So tennis was, and I realized why he was such a special person to me. Tennis was the first time I was ever recognized for something that I did physically. It wasn't about my brain, because again, when you grow up as a young, bright, young child. You understand exactly what I'm talking about. You were a bright kid, and you were smart, you're intelligent, you did your homework pretty much,
Right.
and you've always been recognized for being smart, for being, a clever thinker. But as the nerd, you've never been ever been recognized as something physical.
Mm.
And tennis was the first thing. Even my sister said it. She said, I really liked how you play tennis, because she's like, I've never seen you do something and stick with it so much. But tennis was like the first time in my life I realized I could teach myself I could do anything.
Mm.
That I can
Wow.
do absolutely anything. I would go out there and I would practice against the wall. I started tennis. I've always been one of those people that when I start something and I make up my mind and I commit that I'm gonna do it, because I feel a desire to do it. I was always gonna put my full like 110% inside of it. And with tennis, it was almost like his name is Hector. Hector Henry is his name. And we have even a little group of all of us Caribbean kids that used to play tennis in Brooklyn with him. We call ourselves the Carib Squad. Hector's
Okay.
Hooligans.
Okay.
Hector's Hooligans is what we call ourselves. And I think today it really matters, because it's all about mental preparation, because there's so many things that could hinder your growth based on, just how life will hit you. But I don't know, for the first time in my life, like, somebody died, I'm upset about it, but it motivated me.
Right. Right.
It significantly motivated me. Like, I feel like I woke up this morning with a calm. I think you can feel it today. A peacefulness, And it wasn't a peacefulness like, oh, everything is all good. It's like, no, I'm committed to my mission now, because one of my favorite people died, and I have to honor who he was. It's like the same reason why, like, I work so hard with like helping my mentors, and like I push myself to keep going, because it's not about me. It's not
Right.
even about you. What we're doing is not for us.
For
It's like,
sure,
but
man.
it makes you realize that, like, life is truly short, Mr. Hector was one of those people that, because I made the decision, he's a you, right? So Mr.
Yeah.
Hector's a you,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
hey, don't kill
So
me off,
because
bro.
I made the decision, no, but you have to understand the perspective of mental
No, I'm with you.
capacity
I'm with you.
now.
I'm
Like,
sure.
you can allow things to degrade you, or you can allow it to transform your life into something else. Like, for me, the reason why he's a you, it's the same thing like this. When I showed faith without works is dead, which is the main ideology of this first chapter on mental. What you think about, you become.
Right.
And literally, it was all working on me. It was almost like everything happens in divine timing,
Sure.
because I think I needed this chapter to kind of like help me feel the way that I'm feeling right now about the situation. Because literally, when I decided to commit to myself, and I was out there, even when it wasn't practice, to practice against the wall by myself in tennis, that was the reason why Mr. Hector became a mentor. See, we were always the kids that never came for money, but we worked hard. So then we were rewarded because we worked hard. So
Right.
he was the same coach that would pick us up. I went to the US Open for free.
Wow.
He
Wow.
opened
That's
up
big,
those
man.
opportunities for us,
Yeah.
simply because of the children that we were, because we
Wow.
worked so hard, because we were committed to something, and he saw our commitment.
Right.
So it's like, it makes you realize that you've been gravitating around these people your whole life, Ashani. You know what I mean? You've always been the teacher's pet, but it's because you've worked hard. It's
So
not
okay.
because
So
it's something you didn't deserve, because you worked hard. So
so,
I'm
so
grateful.
in honor of, you said
Grateful.
Coach Hector. Coach Hector.
Coach Hector. Oh man. Oh,
So
Hector.
so
Yes,
so
Coach
so in
Hector.
honor of Coach Hector, what is one thing that you learned, like a life lesson, or just one takeaway that you would like to share with the
From
world
Hector. Oh
from from
man.
from, from Coach Hector, and if and maybe even it's just a tennis skill, it's something that he taught you about the sport, even, or something about life. It doesn't matter. Personal, about hard work,
I
dreaming big.
hard work. I think no. Mr. Hector taught me about hard work. You even brought it up last week. We were talking about it. You're like, you were short and chubby, and I was like, I
You
was short
were,
and
you
chubby. The
were.
reason why I'm not short and chubby anymore is because of Mr. Hector.
Mm,
Um, It was because of Mr. Hector. Like, I'm telling you, when I moved to America, my life changed. Started eating a lot more. Chinese food was my favorite. You know, I would hide it, like, and it was so accessible to independent people. Where you can get what you want, you become extremely powerful. But at the same time, you become extremely dangerous as well. And when I moved to America, I lived in Brooklyn. Oh man, I would just eat, right? Like, it was delicious. Like, MSG was, I didn't care if there was MSG. I didn't know what it was. It just tasted good, right? But when I started playing tennis with Mr. Hector, like, my father, I remember I would always get second place when I started playing competitions. My mother would always say, like, why do you always come second, you know? And I was like, it always irritated me. My parents know how to inspire me. They know how to motivate me because I'm competitive. And my father said to me, he's like, you know that your knees don't support your weight, right? And I was just like, oh man, my dad just called me fat without calling me fat. Because in my logical brain, that's the best way to tell me. Because that makes sense to me. My knees cannot support my body. So then, oh man, every single tennis ball that was hit in any single direction, I went after that tennis ball.
Oh
And Mr.
wow.
Hector was the person that when I started to do that, that's what he took me more seriously. He was like, okay, whoa, this kid is really doing something now. He's really going after it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I wanted it for a bigger reason then. But the thing about Mr. Hector, he taught me how to work hard. He taught me that even if you hit, because I think tennis is one of those sports. If you think about tennis, you think about life. Like, every single time you hit a ball, it could be a great shot or it could be a shitty shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just about power, it's about finesse as well. It's about structure. It's a whole complete puzzle. You can't just go out there and whack the ball like a baseball. And with Mr. Hector, he was the first person to break it down to me. He's like, you have it inside of you, but you have to go at it every single day with persistence. There's a
Yeah.
reason why I always sit against the wall, you know? And I think that's the biggest thing that he taught me. He's like, even when you think that you're going to lose, you need to play like you're going to win. You need to play like you're going to win. And I feel like that's how it is in life. I think, especially in business. I'm talking about it now. It's making me happy that you asked me this question because it's true. That's what he taught me. He taught me that even if you think you are, even if you know, in tennis, you lost 6-love the first let, the second set, you're 5-love about to lose 6-love again. He's like, play like you are going to win always. Because then you play your game, not their game. You know
Right.
that how
Right.
easy that is to do in tennis.
Right.
So I think that's
Right.
the biggest thing that he taught me. It was how to literally play my game. And like, even when I think I'm losing, I need to play like I'm winning. It's like your
And
mind
not
will do
only
what
and
your
not
mind
only
wants to do, but override it.
and not only play like you're winning, but you gotta think like you're winning. You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta think to yourself that I'm still good. I'm still good because the moment you allow yourself to become defeated mentally, it's over. Like it's over.
It's done.
When they talk about it,
It's
it's
a
not over
wrap.
to the
Yeah.
fat lady sings. What they're really talking about, in my opinion, is like it's not over until you believe it's over. The fat lady is some person inside
Exactly.
of all of us, some doubter, some person who gives up, some person who's the quitter inside of us, who's trying to like get us to believe that it's already over before it actually is. And I was just playing a tennis match
See, and
yesterday, man,
yeah.
and the guy, he was like, I was crushing him. He kept saying I was crushing him. And I was like, every time he admits to the fact that I was crushing him, I was like, I mean, and he's just
You
doing
crush
my
him even
job for
harder.
me. He's just doing my job for me, basically,
Tennis is such a mental game. Tennis is such a mental game, and a lot of people. I think
Life is a
that's why I've
mental
always
game, man.
gravitated.
Life is a mental
Mm-hmm.
game. Life is a mental
Mm-hmm.
game, bro. It's all mental.
Yeah, I love how we've already
Well,
dug in so deep, but we haven't even introduced
yeah,
ourselves to
yeah,
people.
yeah.
This is good.
So rest in
This is
peace
good. I like this.
to your coach, man, and definitely sorry for
Yes.
your loss. But it sounds like you
And
learned a
again, he
lot,
went out on Earth
and it
Day.
sounds like he had a
Yeah.
very legendary life, where he
Oh,
made a difference in a lot of
he
people's
was a light.
lives. So that's really awesome. Now on today's
Yeah, he was a
episode
light. He was
of
a light.
what is this called
He
again,
was a
man? The
light.
dream. No, today's episode of the Dream Life
The Dream
Experience.
Life Experience.
Yeah,
Come on, we have to keep our names.
we're excited, man. And
Dream Life
today
Experience.
is chapter number 1. My name is Dr. Quincy Hawley, the author of Hard Work Ain't Hard Work: How to Discover, Pursue, and Achieve Your Dream Life. And this is Ashani Mabala, and we are the co-host of this show, and we're excited about it, man. And I believe that
I'm
Ashani
excited to be here.
has a poem that I wrote that he wants to read. This is going to become tradition for this I'm just like,
Yes.
whatever, man. You want it to be
We're
tradition, it's
creating this
tradition
tradition.
officially. Yeah, go for it, man. Oh, and
Well, I don't, I don't,
let me give you the background of this poem. So one day, I was actually taking my daughter to daycare, and I took her to daycare. I dropped her off. When I got back home, I was sitting in my truck in my driveway. It was a Toyota Tundra 2008, and I was sitting there, and something just inspired me to whip out my phone and to write this poem. I mean, I didn't sit down and think about it. I didn't even have plans to write a poem. I sat at, and I pulled up my phone. I wrote this poem in about probably less than 5 minutes, and I haven't edited it. It's just is what it is. So, go for it. I call it the answer because I feel like it came from heaven and it's the answer to life. That's the background of the poem.
what do you say? Source sent the notes. Source sent the notes. Source, by the way, is the universe. I realize I have to explain that now to people. Source is the universe. That's what I call source. Okay, so the poem is called The Answer. The universe is the nest of life, which provides us with the quest of life. If you want the absolute best of life, then discover your dreams and make grand requests of life. Pursue your dreams with faith for the rest of life, as the pursuit provides the test of life. And if you want to ace the test of life, dream big, take massive action, have faith, and invest in life. Act now. How much time is left in life? If you live your dreams today, then you will never fear death in life. Believe these words and what they suggest of life, or receive no doubt an F in life. By Dr. Quincy Hawley, 2017. See, I think this is a good mood setter. It really hit today, talking about the death in life, and
Right. Right. Wow, man.
the
Gosh.
whole first chapter for me it summed it up in the words of faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. That's kind of been the theme this whole week for me. I would say, like, we talk this chapter basically is the first part of the book. So part one, preparation for success. When you're preparing to go to the next level, or just believe in yourself, it is a mental. I feel like it does start in the mental brain. I think that's why a lot of people take time to wake up. We're so distracted by so many of the things that are taking our mental attention away: social media, other people, negativities, doubts. That was the number one thing that you talked about in this book, because I think that doubt is the one thing that will stop so many people from beginning. You doubt that you can have it, other people's doubts that are on you. And that's kind of how this chapter starts about. So chapter one, it talks about mental preparation. It says, you can have more than you've got because you become more than you are, by Jim Rohn. And that's what I'm going to be doing a lot, like, in this series, is like the things in the book that most took me. And I feel like the quote set the tone for the book, for sure. Dr. Quincy Hawley also he says another quote: you can do anything you set your mind to. And in this season of life, I think of myself today off of the fresh news. As I told you, yesterday was a great day, like an amazing day on the job of an entrepreneur. And that news came to me at the end of the day of the death of my mentor. And it could have been so easy to just like throw in the towel and be just just give up in that moment. But I just felt like, no, he was one of the greatest. Like, I have to live on, like, even harder for him, because he was a hard ass. Those are my favorite type of coaches, the ones that tell you, like, okay, keep it together. He would give you a look, Quincy. He would give you a look if you were behaving badly in tennis, because you can't coach.
Right.
You can't, like, verbally coach. He would give you a look, and you had to keep it together, because again, it's such a mental game. But when you talk about you can do anything you set your mind to, so many people would say it's cliche, but you truly can. You truly can. And you break it down in so many different ways in this first chapter. But the first thing we talk about is how to eliminate this doubt. How
Right.
to eliminate this doubt. So
And
my
I'm gonna jump
question
in.
to you, Dr. Hawley.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go
I
ahead.
was going to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
let me ask you a question about doubt. So my question to you, Dr. Hawley, and I'll answer the same question for myself. what was the first doubt that popped into your brain when you began this journey, and how did you overcome it?
That
What was the first thing that you?
the first doubt, and I even had like maybe I guess family members kind of dropped this one on me, is that um, in subtle ways, that the dream life isn't something that can really be manifested, that can be lived, that and so for me the first doubt is it possible that you can really live a dream life? And a part of my dream life is that I wanted to help other people do it, right? And so then the next doubt that sort of came in that naturally goes with that is, is this stuff a bunch of hocus pocus that you're just kind of making up, and that people are just kind of egging you on, like, oh, go live your dreams, like Les Brown egging me on so that he can become more
Mm,
successful? Are they preying on people who are gullible, who are going to go for this dream life experience, and who are going to spend money and resources and time, helping? Are they basically? Is it an industry? Is the dream life an industry basically that is
can
sort
I
of
make money selling a dream life? Yeah.
yeah, basically, right?
Can I make money
And so
selling a dream life?
and so
Wow.
and so that was a big thing. And then there are always people who sort of come in talking about like the doubts. People who come in and they say, um, there's just so many justifications as to why the dream life can't can't be, or there's always a reason or an excuse that it can't be done the way that you want to do it, even though you know deep within yourself that it is true. And so those are coming some of the big ones for me, and which is also what I was going to say before you asked me that question, was that the reason I felt like mental preparation and in chapter one had to be about what it's about is
Yeah.
because self belief is so important if you're going to make any type of test towards just living your best life and going for big
Ooh,
goals and
yes.
big dreams, and just really living life your way, that you've got to believe that it's possible. And last thing I'll say before I turn it over, the best evidence that I have, and I didn't even put this in the book, or maybe I did, but as you believe, so shall it be done. If you believe, if you
Ooh, let me write
believe
that
that
one
you can,
down.
if you believe you can live your dreams, then you can. All right. But if you believe what somebody else says, whether it's a family member, a spouse, a significant other, it doesn't matter. If you believe what they say, then that's what it's going to be. So that's kind of
See,
like
I'm quoting that one. That one's a shirt. That one's a shirt. As you believe, so it shall be done. See, you got me out here smiling again with Dr. Hawley. You're
yeah.
absolutely correct. You're
Yeah, but
absolutely
that's that's,
correct.
that's powerful. So,
You
so,
you
so
you touched on.
mhm. Right.
I was gonna say, so in the book, when you talked about doubt, you touched on three things that people can, really reasons why. How about this? It was reasons why, and then the same thing for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same answer for me as well in terms of my doubt. It was, I've had like even not, I can't even say, yeah, my family members. How about that? My family
Oh, for
members,
sure. Yours worse than
other
mine.
people's doubts, other
You're.
people's doubts. Oh God, yeah, other people's doubts on me. And I'm a renegade. I'm a renegade. Ashani Mabala means the rebellious one. And my parents definitely said that they shot themselves in the foot naming me that for sure. But I'm one of those smart renegades, I guess you could say. I'm a rebellious spirit. But for me, the doubt came from, I had to realize that what I believed was my mission and what they were thinking was my doubt. They want the best for us, but they don't know what's best for us. Only we know what's best for us. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you will know whether somebody who is putting their doubt on you versus it's a self-limiting belief inside of yourself.
Right.
And I
Right.
feel like
Right.
there's, and again, those are some of the distractions. But in your book, you talk about three different ways to basically reset your mind in terms of in that doubt. And you talk about the power inside, our
Yes.
ability to think, and then simply science.
Right.
Now, science is probably my favorite one. Science
Yeah.
is probably
It
my
was
favorite
good.
one.
It was
People think I
good.
believe everything. I don't. I don't
Right.
believe everything. you talk about the power inside, you talk about how all of us truly have a power inside to believe in ourselves. Like I think of it as the power inside is like your destiny.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
So
all of us have a mission that we have to have.
I,
You know,
I have to touch on that really quickly, man.
of course, let us know.
We are more than this physical bag of bones, fluid, and skin and muscle. Like there's more
Mm,
to humans than just that. There's that mind aspect. Like when I say I am, like what am I really talking about? And to me, there is something
that's
more to
deep.
myself than just my physical body. Like I know this for a fact. And and when you discover that, and when you discover and realize that it's as indestructible as your shadow is, it's an important
That's what to write
realization.
down.
It's an important realization that you can't that you're gonna need for the journey ahead of you. You have to realize that you're basically it's a superhuman almost, right? And so that was important. I kind of learned that from Seed of the Soul. I learned that from the Master Key System. Those are
It's a good book.
two books that talk about it. Mr. Dudley's recommendation. What's it called? What's the name of that book? I got it back there. Oh, Secret of the Ages. Secret of the Ages. So it's in that one.
Ooh,
Riches Within Your Reach.
that's a really good book.
That's another good book.
I'm
So
ri- I'm,
all those books will
I'm
help
writing these down. I'm
you
writing these down.
discover that power that I'm talking about, and help you discover the true nature of yourself and who you are. And when you can see that you are more than just your physical manifestation of what you are, then you can really, really, really make strides, leaps, and bounds, and be a little bit more fearless. It's a process. It's not going to be like an easy, like, oh, I got it now. Like, no, but it's a necessary part.
Wow. So two things that we're gonna be adding to this talk. Because this is the thing, we have to build as we go. I'm gonna write down the books that we discussed. So we have a running list for like the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
And then these quotes that you're coming with are really powerful. Like I wrote down the power of realizing there is power in realizing, well, I guess we'll have to switch it around, but the power inside of you is as indestructible as your own shadow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you can't destroy your shadow just as much as you can't destroy your destiny.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
That's really, really powerful. I think that's something that a lot of people can truly relate to.
And it goes with you
See, the
everywhere.
soul, that's
You
probably one of
can't
the
get rid
first
of it.
books. Yeah.
You can't get rid of
No matter what,
you
exactly.
can't get rid of your soul.
And
You
it
can't
is
get rid of your
inescapable.
dream. Yeah, like your shadow, whether you like it or not, whether you ignore it or not. Like how often do you pay attention to your shadow, right? Like I'm not. I have a shadow right now.
That's a good
It's
one
somewhere, but
too.
you don't really pay attention to it, but it's still there. It's still there. And even on the cloudy days, it kind of goes away, but you know it's still there. Because when the sun starts shining again, it's going to still be there. You know that very well. So there are a lot of
Wow.
similar.
So the
I actually
analogies
wrote
is
an
going through my
article.
little spiritual brain is tough.
Yeah, I actually wrote an article about um, something about the shadow and how it can help you achieve your dreams or something like that. But anyway, oh, 5 lessons you can learn from your shadow. It was
You
good. It
probably
was.
should share that article with us, Dr. Holly.
I
You
know
probably should
it's
share
on.
this article with us. Is it one of your
I will.
Medium articles? Is it one of
No,
the articles that you have on your
it
Medium
is on Medium.
platform?
It's also on Dream Life Motivation website, but I'll put it on the university on the Dream Life Motivation
Good.
University,
That's why I'm bringing it up.
so they can.
See, both of us have a similar shadow issue. We both don't like to promote ourselves. So this is why I'm asking you, oh, Dr. Holly, do you have a Medium profile that these viewers can go on to and read this wonderful article that you've written? Because we've
Yeah.
realized our problem isn't that we don't have good content. Our problem is that we don't. It's like we feel like people are gonna stone us for telling us things that they might want to hear. But we're
Right.
getting over that. We're getting over that. And no, this is what happens. This is, by the way, guys, this is what a mastermind meeting looks like when two powerful minds are talking to each other and they're conversating authentically. The ideas will come on paper.
Yeah.
The ideas will come on paper. So the next thing I wanted to touch on that you speak about in the first chapter is commitment. And
Mm.
this is probably my favorite part about the book in the beginning. In the beginning stages of the book, it felt like when I was reading this book, even though I've read it before, it felt like I was recommitting to a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
you and I talk about it in a way that without Mr. Dudley, we say, it's like, think about it this way. Mr. Dudley told me, he said to me, this is in a book, it's called How to Turn Your Ability into Cash by Earl Purvett. This book is powerful. And I have to add that one in as well. Um, How to Turn Your Ability into Cash, Earl. Okay. So in this book, I read this line because I told Mr. Dudley when I met him, when you introduced me to him, the day after, and I had my first coaching session with him, I told him, I broke down, I was crying because this is like my biggest problem in my life. I was like, if you have the person to ask the question to, you need to get bold and ask the question to immediately. Don't wait for foolishness. No, you know?
Right,
So I
right, right.
asked him, I was in front of him in his office, and I said to him, Mr. Dudley, my biggest issue in my life right now, it's very difficult for me to focus. There are so many different things that I'm really good at, but I don't know which one is my direction. He made me read that book, How to Turn Your Ability into Cash, right in front of him out loud, right? And what it basically read, it was talking about unlocking the pieces inside of us. When you read, you unlock the pieces inside of you that were already there, pretty much. And that's how it kind of felt like when I was rereading this material. I felt like the first time I read it, it was a seed that was planted, a
Right.
seed of light, a seed of information. So I feel like now with going back through this process and like actually like putting it to paper and studying the material, it's like I'm turning the seed into a tree.
Mm,
It feels
mm.
like this is going to be a tree. I feel like living my dream life will be something of a natural setting for me because I'm building a tree in my garden.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? I'm developing the tree in my garden. But I think this is what happens with every single book that you read, every single behavior that you have, every single person that you allow to irritate you. I feel like you can either have of a garden of trees, or you can have what? A jungle of weeds.
Right.
Pick your choice.
Right.
You
Right.
see what I'm saying? Pick your choice. And I feel like you have the opportunity now with commitment, to commit now to which parts of them are you going to keep. Like me making a commitment in the book, I'll read you exactly what you said. You gave the people an opportunity. And I think this is so important. I feel like we have to say it in this because this is what these people are going on a journey with us now, in the visual sense. So it says, are you serious? Are you ready? Before you continue, if you are serious about taking your life to a whole new level, no matter what the current quality of your life, I want you to send me the following phrase to the following email address so that I can know which of my readers are truly serious about achieving their dream lives. The statement goes, I can do anything I set my mind to and truly work hard at if I do what is required. I have faith that is true. Dreamlifemotivation@gmail.com. And it says, note, if you are serious about making this change and prepared to go all out, don't go to the next page until you believe that. Also, don't email me until you've thought about the bold phrase above and can believe it. That whole little piece right there is a challenge to anybody that reads this book, anybody that listens to this thing, because it's so important. Making a commitment is ridiculously important
Right.
because I
Right.
think of myself. I think
Right.
of myself in like business. There's certain commitments that like I know I don't move forward with specific things that I know I have to do because I know I'm not ready to make the commitment yet.
Right. Right. Right.
For me, it's like reading the Bible, right? I
Yeah.
want to read the Bible, but it's just for me, it's like Ashani, you know who you are. If you read this Bible, you're gonna want to know everything in between the books, in between the pages, and that's not a commitment that I want to dive into right at this specific moment in my life.
Right.
I want to focus on other parts of my being. You know what I
Now
mean?
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this because when I read that part about the commitment, I got chills through my body. Now, you have to remember, I wrote this
Mm-hmm.
book. This is back 2016, 2017. It is
4 years
2020.
ago. Yep.
It is 2020.
Mm-hmm.
It is 20 mother effing 20. And I got chills because I was committed I made my commitment like that on November 2016, the day after the presidential election when Donald Trump was elected. It had nothing to do with who got
That's a
elected,
powerful
right?
day, bro.
It had nothing to do with the election, who did or didn't get elected, but that was just my day of saying enough. enough for whatever reason.
Enough.
That was just the day. But like I haven't stopped. I haven't stopped. And that was my point behind that whole commitment piece, is that commit to doing this, put it inside of you so that it can't go anywhere else. So that wherever you go, that commitment has to go, and that desire and that dream has to go. And now for the rest of my life, I have one goal for the rest of my life. And that's to live my dream life, to discover it, pursue it, and to achieve it every single day. That is the one thing that I have to do while I'm on the face of this planet. And that looks a lot different for many different areas of my life, but it's the one umbrella goal. And Ashani, let me ask you, since you read that, and since you started your journey, whenever you made that commitment, have you stopped?
Man, I think that reading it again, the same feeling that you had, you said it sent chills through you. It sent chills through me, because it was like, it kind of made me understand the reason why, like, I'm so persistent. And even to the point where I could be persistent on things that are bad for me. It's to the point where, like, because everything is moderation, you could believe too hard, and you could believe so hard that you don't see logic.
Mm-hmm.
And I always try to find my balance between the two, because some people are like, oh, Ashani is just, he believes in this and he believes in that. And I'm like, I'm actually very skeptical. I have to have evidences, but my evidences don't need to be evidences from people. It's evidences from God and the universe for me. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I have to see things, but because I'm watching people and watching situations outside and looking for signs to continue to always believe, they come. So for me, it's like, when I read that, it made me realize, Ashani, like, wow, you actually believe this, and you actually still on this journey. So many people could have thrown away their ideas. So many people could have thrown away their vision so many more times, and you're still here, believing to the death of your death. People tell me all the time, they're like, and again, the same family members or like friends that would be like, why are you dreaming? Stop believing. The ones that throw doubt at you. And it's like, no, I already made a commitment to myself and the God inside of me. I have to finish what he told me to do. I
That's
have
the
to
only
finish
reason
what
you're
I
here.
told myself that I have to do.
It's the
Yeah,
only reason you're here, bro.
that's how I feel about it.
Yeah,
But no,
yeah.
it's powerful. It's
And
powerful. I think I
I
just love the fact that you just tell them they can't move forward. You cannot move forward until you believe in yourself.
because if you
That's
do
what you
move
told these
forward,
people.
if you do
That's what
move
we're telling
forward,
them today.
if you do move forward without that commitment to yourself, you're gonna get slaughtered. You're gonna get slaughtered. And I'm not saying that
Mm,
you can't succeed, but it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough if you make the commitment. Okay, it's gonna be rough either way you look at it, right? Like Steve Harvey said, man, I don't know if you ever heard it, where he's on The Price is Right, and he's talking about just like jumping off that cliff of life, taking that risk, going
mm,
for the best life
the jump.
possible. He said you've got to jump off of the cliff in order for your wings to spread and for you to fly
Yes.
and to soar. He said, but you're gonna get scraped up. Your clothes gonna get torn off your back. It's gonna be a rough and bumpy road. And so my thing is, if we know it's gonna be rough and bumpy, and you haven't committed yet, then there's a chance that you could go back. And I think I have a subtitle or a subheading in that chapter that says that no turning back. Like when you make
Oh,
this
I was about to
commitment,
read them the
oh,
first line.
go for it. Go for it.
Ooh.
Go for it.
Yeah, no, because this one sets your soul on fire. But I think that I want to read that one at the end. I want to read that one at the end as the last thing that we tell them
For sure.
for this
I jumped
session,
the gun.
because
I jumped the gun.
no, you're fine. No, you were right on the money. But I told you I want to take a step further, because if they hear it, Quincy, it's different than us just talking about it. If they hear exactly what you said and how you said it, it's powerful. But no, in terms of with us talking about commitment though, like, it's scary to make a commitment. And I think this is the reason why a lot of people do not do it. Because when you make a commitment, it's like, if you break a commitment, you lied to yourself. You disappointed yourself. No one likes to disappoint themselves, subconsciously or consciously.
Right.
And I feel like with what you did in that moment, you made me decide right there and then, okay, this isn't a book for the weak ones. This is not a book for people that are going to continuously make excuses, because it's a book of ways to eliminate all of your excuses. That's what this book is. Simply, you know what I mean? You can't tell yourself you're going to live your dream life, and then when someone tells you, oh, you can't do that because of Corona. Well, we're doing it anyway. How about that?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like having that, you're giving them the juice to be able to say things like that, to be able to overcome when people doubt you. Because this is the thing, when you doubt yourself in your mind, I realize one of the biggest ways to quickly switch the script on yourself is to say something out loud. It's like you tell the person inside of your head, shut up. Like I'd be like,
Right.
Ashani, shut up. This is gonna work.
Right.
You have to though. You have to snap
Yes.
yourself out of it.
And if you can't say it,
Okay,
you're in
so
trouble.
if you and the thing is, but that's the reason why people don't write down their dream lives, because they're
Right.
terrified of their dream lives. You're terrified of making a commitment. So it's like, I understand, but you have to be scared enough sometimes to truly believe. You have to be scared enough sometimes, because that's real courage. Like that's what courage is. You're terrified, but you still decided to go.
Right.
You still
Right.
decided to go. That's what courage is. Courage isn't, what is it? Courage is not absence of fear. It is fear, but you decided to proceed regardless of having that fear.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could look at what happened all over the world. You can't be scared about it. Yes, we're scared about it, but turn that fear into fuel to
Right.
really light yourself on fire. To light yourself on fire.
Yep.
So, so that's the last part. And then I told you I have my notes. I came prepared today. So, the next part of the book, the last part of this chapter, really talks about you become what you think about. Ooh, this line is, by the way, is by one of your favorite people, Earl Nightingale. And I want you to talk about him.
Earl.
I want you to
Gosh,
talk about
man.
him, because he
Can
is
I?
like,
Can I please?
I
Can I
don't, listen to
please?
me. Look at you. You're about to go into an epiphany. You're about to go into a moment, but I want you to explain to the people your relationship with Earl Nightingale, and why that statement, "You become what you think about," means to you, and what has it mean to this journey that you've been on thus far. So who is Earl? Why Earl? Why this statement, and what has it done for you? See how I was able to just like organize that? It's getting better. Week 3 is going well.
Earl Nightingale, man. I mean, I owe him so much. Like, there are so many people that, Shani, when I die and go to the traditional heaven where everybody is, and you go say hey to like your grandma and stuff like that, right? That heaven.
Yeah.
There are so many people.
You're gonna search for Earl.
I'm gonna be like, Jesus, I'll be right back, bro. I gotta go holler at Earl, Wallace, and Jim. You know what I'm saying? Like, and SB. I'm like, Jesus, I promise I'll be right
That's
back,
me.
bro. I'll be
I
right
have a
back.
list.
Like, yeah,
God, I have
like,
a list.
yeah, I have a list. Jesus, you get it, bro. All right, right. Because I want to talk to Jesus too, but I gotta talk to Earl first, and Jim, and Wallace. Like Earl Nightingale, man.
All the
When
lies.
you talk about people dropping their rope, or just imagine yourself in a river or in a swimming pool drowning, and somebody throws you that little floaty raft thing, that lifesaver thing, the little
Ooh, what
circle
you did
thing.
for me. Ooh, okay, yeah.
That's what he did for me, man. And it wasn't just him; it was a whole slew of a whole slew of people. But he was one of the first, and he has a 30-day challenge. And when I listened to his video called the 30
Yes,
Day
that's what I'm
Challenge,
writing down right
and
now.
it's on YouTube. You can Google it right now. Earl Nightingale 30-Day Challenge. He dropped some
No, we'll put it in the
knowledge.
comment section for them.
We'll put it in the comment
Ooh,
section, man. But that
powerful.
I listened to that
Yeah.
daily for a very long time until it clicked, until it made sense, and until I started to see that it was true. He's got so many quotes. One of my other favorites is, "It's the small refinements upon something that's already good that makes it great." And so I apply that to
Yes.
my life on a daily basis as well. I just quoted him in a little podcast interview thing I was doing earlier today. And but at
Where
any
can they
rate,
find this podcast that you were doing earlier today?
but it's a veterinary thing, so they would have to be a member of the group. But somebody wanted to just ask me a few questions, and one of the questions is, "What
Okay.
is one of your favorite quotes that you like to share?" And I pulled it from Earl. So it's not something I'm just making up, that I'm saying like just for show, that I really enjoy Earl's messages. But
No,
he's
you embody
powerful.
it. No, Quincy embodies it.
He's known as the dean of personal development and the dean of personal growth. And I actually have a picture over here with me wearing a Hall of Fame motivational speaker ring, and we'll get into this later on. So, you know, I'm not going to talk about this. Will be a future episode for sure, because it's in the book. It's in the book, but it's it's when you discover people like Earl, and hopefully one day I'll be one of those people, and Shani, you'll be one of those people that people
You
discover. They're
already
like,
are. That's what I'm trying to
"Oh
make
my
explain to
gosh,
you.
yeah." Right,
Yeah, but you already are one of those people.
but even on a larger scale, man, and um,
Yeah.
but yeah, go listen to the 30-Day Challenge. I'm not even gonna try to summarize all the stuff that's in there.
Yeah.
Just listen to it, just try it, just hear it out, and you will see that it's true. You'll be able to look around you at the people. You'll be able to look around you at the people. And there's one part in there where he says, you can walk up to 100 men and ask them all what the key to success is. And he said, they'll all look at you like you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because most people just haven't thought about, like, what is the definition of success? What does it take to be successful? What does it mean when you say you become what you think about? Like all these different things. And just that information was so new to me. I mean, I'm a student of science. I'm a student of academics and academia, and they just don't teach this shit in school. And it's a crying shame. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not even go down that rabbit hole. But
Not
Earl,
week 3. Not week 3. No.
not week 3, man. But Earl, he gave it to me like it was. He taught it to me straight, just like Mr. Dudley does, and just like I aim to do with hard work and hard work. So that's a little bit about Earl. Though that's more than I wanted to say. But I owe the guy so.
Oh no, that's your friend.
Much. I owe him so much, man. So I could still be, addicted to alcohol. I could still be living a subpar life of mediocrity had it not been for Earl and the many people that he inspired. So that's it about that.
Wow. See, this is why I had to ping your button, because the way how you get excited about Earl Nightingale, man, it's like how I got excited about Mr. Hector. Like, it's the same thing. Like, there's specific people in our lives that have really helped us. So the next part of the question was, what does that term, I'm gonna read it again, you become what you think about, mean to you and this journey that you've been on? You become what you think about.
Jesus said it best, I think, on the Sermon on the Mount. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a student of the Bible necessarily. I knew quotes.
You're a student of the Bible. You're not an expert of the Bible.
I'm not an expert of the Bible by any means, so do not quote me.
Yeah, we're students of the Bible.
But I know somebody said this somewhere, and it's in the Bible. As you believe, so shall
You're
it
paraphrasing,
be done. As you believe, so shall it be done. Like, you become what you think about. And Joyce Meyer says, where the mind goes, the man follows, right? And so you control your mind. You control what you think about, right? And so I'm always thinking that I'm a person who lives a life of his dreams and complete happiness. It doesn't matter what the outward manifestation looks like. It doesn't matter what circumstances and conditions and life events I'm going through. My thoughts, what's in my mind is that I'm a person who lives a life of personal and professional well-being, a life of his dreams and complete happiness. The end, point blank, bottom line. It doesn't matter what my bank account says. It doesn't matter like what struggles I'm going through. You become what you think about. So if you think that you're a person who lives their dreams in complete happiness, you truly believe that enough that you're willing to write about it, you're willing to speak about it, and you're willing to defend it, then you will be that. Very simply put, man. That's what it means to me. And I will never stop. I will never stop thinking about my ideal life. I would never stop. I was never stop just like conceptualizing myself. I will never stop that. And it's my highest ideal of myself. I can't stop it because and the reason I can't stop it, Ashani, is because I have to make Jesus Christ a liar, assuming he's the one who said that. I have to make him a liar in order for me to believe in my heart of hearts that I live my dreams of complete happiness. And for it to not be true, he's got to be a liar. And all his stuff got to be a lie too. And I just believe that it's not. So, and I don't believe he is. Right? Because if he said it, and I believe it.
To make Jesus a liar. You're gonna have to go in deeper now with the whole Jesus a liar thing on another episode. But I would like us, because I wrote that down. I'm gonna write that one down, because how to make Jesus a liar. That would be a sermon one day. How about that? That would be a sermon one day. So, yo, God, me talking about sermons just remind me of what happened this week. God told me that I was a pastor. And I was like, I don't want to be a pastor. I don't want to be a pastor. Yeah.
I mean, you could be a different, you could be your own type of pastor. You don't need a church. You don't need brick and mortar. You don't need brick and mortar. Shoot.
See, what it resulted was it's literally, God was like, you're a spirited farmer. in the Bible, again, we're quoting the Bible today, right? Students of the Bible. God talks about in the Bible, he said, farmers are the chosen people for God, from God. Basically, farmers are the ones that were created to tend the land, to tend the earth, and to ensure its riches and to make sure everything is going good. So it's like there is a spiritual connection with all of us in the land. All of us live here. All of us live on the same earth. That's one thing everybody in this world has in common.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is why I always say world peace is possible. Everyone believes it's possible. All of us live here. All of us. You see what I'm saying? No matter what you look like, no matter where you're from, we all live here. So that's the one thing we all have in common. But why do we all have that one thing in common? Why should we care? And I think this is what you and I have been able to do for so many people. Open up that feeling. You talk about it in the way that your dream life. I call it my kingdom, the kingdom of heaven, my own heaven, where I'm trying to find, where I'm trying to go. I call mine the kingdom of Eden. But it lives inside of all of us within our commitments, within our words, within how we believe in ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this chapter really, really helps you to be able to understand that you're special. I think that's the whole summarizing of this chapter. It's like you're special. Like the mental preparation that you need to go into this game of living your dream life is you need to understand that you're special and you deserve to be special because you are special. You talk about in there in science how all of us was a sperm at one point. Half of us was a sperm. We were created. That's magic.
Magic.
Right? And
Magic.
when you talk about, no, it's magic. It's absolutely magic. It's absolutely magic. It says you
Miraculous.
become
It's
what you think about.
miraculous. Miraculous.
Come on.
Miraculous.
It was, yes. And I think that a lot of people don't understand that they're special, And I feel like this is why we're here to tell them that they're special. I did like my first talk on, as I said, when God told me I'm a pastor, I was like, okay, now that you know who you are, now you can't hide from yourself. So I did my first sermon, and it was talking about vision. I have this vision, and you have your vision of your dream life, and my vision is to get to my kingdom of Eden. You know what I mean? To create that vision, to live my dream life. All of us have different words for the same thing that we're all trying to go to, but it's really vision,
Sure.
Having vision, not just what you see in front of you, but what you see beyond your years. And I realized you become what you think about. If you keep thinking about your vision, if you keep thinking about your life, you will become that. And that's what you've been doing. That's what I've been doing. It's like, but you have to have laser focus on that one thing that you want. Having a commitment to your vision, having a commitment to your dream life. You see what I'm saying? When you have a commitment, the doubts and everybody's words and all those other things are going to come into your life. But when you make a commitment to your vision, you're living your destiny. You're living what you were always supposed to be doing your whole life. I told them there's a reason why it sets everybody's soul on fire when they decide to live their dream life. You're doing what God told you to do from the beginning. The reason why you were born. You know what I mean? Whatever that vision is. For you, it's helping people in veterinary medicine. For me, it's to be a farmer. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
All of us have those things that you feel like you're supposed to do. But when you do the things that you're supposed to do, your life you just start smiling more often. Every day becomes your best day.
It's your Polaris.
Every day.
It's your North Star. So Polaris is the North
Yes,
Star.
it brings you back. Yes.
And so if you can think about
that's
if
powerful.
you can think about the slaves trying to run away and they were using the North Star to guide them to wherever they were trying to go, they may encounter bushes, they may encounter wild animals, they may encounter the dogs of the slave owners, but their guiding light never changes. Despite the circumstances and conditions that they face throughout that journey, the guiding light, the Polaris, that North Star for them was always the same. And so what is your guiding light? What is your Polaris? What is your North Star of your existence? That purpose, that vision. Do you know where you're going? Do you know what it looks like? And I know we're going to talk about vision and purpose in great detail in a few chapters coming up here. But you've got to have something that spans far beyond yourself, that pulls you through and guides you through all the challenges that you're going to face on this journey.
Wow. See, and so what I'll do now is to end this final episode. This final episode, this episode for this week, I'm going to read to them what you said about no turning back, because now that we've said all these things, we have to challenge them now,
Yeah.
Can't just leave here with not no juice. That doesn't work. Do you want me to read I'm going to read you the critical, do you want me to read like one of the critical points or like all of them? And this is what we'll do for the rest of them. for the chapter. Do you want me to just read one of them?
It's like the summary.
Yeah, like the critical points of chapter 1, mental prep. Yeah, we should do it because then it kind of recaps like
As a
what we
quick
were
recap.
discussing, but I won't read all of them. Yeah, it's a quick recap. So I'll read you
And
one of them.
we
I'll
should
read
probably
one
start
every
reading
week.
these at the beginning too, so that people know like what
Okay.
the main points are of the video. So maybe they know
Okay.
that these are the things we're gonna discuss. Okay, but
Okay, so
yeah,
what I'll do is, so we'll read the critical points at the beginning, at the end. I'll write that down for our
cool. Yeah,
future
I like that.
references.
Yeah,
This is how we grow, y'all. This is how you grow. You don't get mad at yourself whenever the ideas come to you. You just implement them and keep growing.
for sure.
I realize building has a lot to do with tearing things down as well. Sometimes you build things in the wrong way, but it's okay, you know?
And be okay with
Tear it down and
imperfection.
just rebuild it again.
Be okay with
Yeah,
imperfection.
oh yeah.
So where's
Be
no
okay
turning
with
back?
imperfection. Yeah,
Let me see. I'm looking at it now. Yeah,
do you want to read? Yeah,
read that first paragraph. Read that first paragraph.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I was gonna read too.
Okay.
So before we read that one, let me read them the critical points though. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the critical point number 1. In order to achieve your life has to be prepared for you to reach your dream life. A mind that performs in an ordinary way cannot achieve the dream life. Only minds that can perform in an extraordinary way can achieve the dream life. Your mind has the ability to perform in an extraordinary way. 2, no matter your background or past, you can do anything you set your mind to if you do what is required. This point has to be understood and is the foundation for being able to discover, pursue, and achieve your dream life. 3, you don't need to know how can you do anything for now, but you need to know that you can do anything. 4, once you make the decision to start your journey to discovering, pursuing, and achieving your dream life, you must commit to never going back to the old way. If you read and follow the instructions in this book, you will find it impossible to go back to your old ways. So proceed with caution. 5, you become what you think about. So think about your dream life and ways to achieve it all throughout the day, and it eventually will become your reality. Well, I like that. We should read it at the beginning of the end. Yeah.
Yeah. That way they kind of know what to expect. Yeah. Because they
You
could
know what
technically
God
just
just
listen.
said? Because we already
Yeah.
did the work.
Yeah. For sure. Oh, for sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
God is like, we already did the work. Might as well tell them we already did the work. We're trying too hard. That's what God said. We're trying too hard. So I'll read them. No turning back. Okay. Okay, ready? Oh, this is powerful, y'all. Let me get into this for y'all. Let me get some coffee first. It says, no turning back. I need you to make a commitment right here, right now. This is an amazing point in your life where you can consciously and deliberately decide to improve the current quality of your life. There is no turning back from here, not this time. You are about to embark on a journey that has the power to change your life forever. This book contains the blueprint that you will need to live your life the way that it is designed to be lived by the architect of the world. Do the exercises, immerse yourself in the stories and examples, follow any request that I ask of you. Wow, this is pretty powerful. Wow.
Yep.
That was
Hey,
good. I like that.
that,
No
that
turning back.
that's it, man. And it's the
Because if you
most
jump off
important
the cliff,
thing.
you can't unjump off the cliff.
Right. The commitment is like jumping out of an airplane to go skydiving.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to make that type of commitment and not a New Year's resolution type of commitment where you're like, I'm going to lose the weight and you have a beer and a slice of pizza in your hand. That's not the type of commitment that we're looking for here. This is I jumped out of the airplane. I can't get back in the airplane until I hit the ground. Okay? That's the type of commitment.
Push the button, y'all.
Can't go back.
Push the button. Yes.
Say that you'll never
But
go
yes,
back. You'll never
this
go
has
back.
been
You'll
this
never
has
go
been
back.
this has been this has just been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful for me. I'm very grateful for today's
Yeah,
episode.
for sure, man. For sure.
I feel like it started off this next cycle really, really well, like this. Just to get some things off of my chest, and everything clicked and connected today. I feel like
Right.
it's truly a growing experience. And yeah, no, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. The last thing I'll say is, yeah, if you guys would like to follow, us on social media, We'll have our links down below. You can follow me on Instagram at king.ashanimabala.com. That's KING.ASHANI B. I'm sorry, MBALA. I can't even spell my own name. But yes, and you can follow me on YouTube as well, where you can hear that wonderful sermon that I gave. I apologize, I did curse. But Dr. Hawley, I talked about yours on my page as well. So then I'm actually gonna give them like all these videos that we're doing. I'm gonna put them on all of my messages as well. Yeah, that's so it's like cross collaboration.
For sure.
But no, that's the biggest thing right now.
And just be sure, if you've made it this far in this like podcast, YouTube recording video, you're a legend. You've got something special. And I assure you,
you have a light. How about that? Yeah.
You have a light. Whatever it is that you're trying to do in life, I encourage you, wherever you are, wherever you are, to push hard, and push forward, and never stop, never go back. And like, subscribe to this YouTube channel, leave a comment below, and let us know what you think about this. Please. Right? Let us know what you think. And also share it with your friends and family members. If you feel like there's something useful in this, give it to them. If they don't use it, that's fine. That's up to them. You have a gift to give to somebody. You give the gift, whether they open it or not, it has nothing to do with you, right? But at any rate, I appreciate you guys for coming and listening to these episodes. Hopefully you found something of value. Hopefully you see the value in what it is that we're sharing with you guys. And we appreciate you. Dream big, discover, pursue, achieve, man.
Yes, all your dreams will come true. And remember, world peace is possible if everyone believes it's possible.
That's right, man. All right, y'all have a good week. Y'all have a good week, good weekend.
Blessings be.
Yes.